right, this is episode 150 of What's Up, Flobo? That's right. So we sit around and chat what's going on in life, what's going on in my mind. And I want to thank you so much for, one, watching this one, and two, making it an actual thing. Like I said before, after 150, this episode will be shifting to once a week. So I want to thank you for riding out this journey, starting in the corner of my room. And now I'm in the corner of the room, but on a computer screen as opposed to my laptop. Progress. Before I begin, I just want to say that this episode and all the episodes are brought to you part by StreamYard.com. I'm a firm believer of StreamYard. In fact, I'm using that right now. There is a link in the description below to make sure you hit that up, get some store credit, some school credit to see some of the premium features. So, I was thinking about having some value add stuff into What's Up Flobo, especially for 150. I know I couldn't match episode 100. I couldn't call my brother up again and have him interview me and vice versa. But I really thought I would do a little bit of things I've learned over the past year. I don't want to say I have a network, but I do. New Amsterdam Entertainment. It's official in the county of Los Angeles. So between that, and that's a lot of things I do, as my parents would say, a lot of things I do in a week come, you know? People see the shows themselves of me just talking with people, and they say that's all of it. It's not all of it. Not to postulate or to pontificate or to come from the pulpit of how hard content creation is, especially on a week-to-week live schedule. But what I do on air, this is very, very small. A lot of it is prepping the show with questions and research, or if it's historical, or I'm doing movies, finding out like fun facts about it, making sure booking guests that are available, that want to do the show, that are down to do it at the time it's allotted, being able to clip out things and do social. I'm a one-man shop, one-stop shop, so I do all my social media as well. And then trying to get people to support the homie, because it does cost money. If it doesn't cost money, it costs time. We all know time is money. That's why I gotta say, if you want to support the homie, make sure you do so at patreon.com/FloboBoyce. That's right, patreon.com/FloboBoyce. All support is greatly appreciated. So a lot of times people ask, usually from a place of being impressed, they say, well, how do you find all the time to do it? You know, and first of all, I just want to say, if you're struggling to find time to do things you like, you're not alone. I think we all have our own, honestly, it happens to everyone. That sounds very dismissive, but everyone has their own things in their life, not necessarily distractions, but things that prevent them to focus on the things they want to. Whether it's, in my case, existential dread about my future, or even my wedding DJ business that I devote some time to. I know some people have kids or significant others that will demand time and attention. Not in a bad way, but any relationship demands attention unless it withers and dies. It's hard to find time. And so what you want to do is maximize the time you do have. I try to get up now when I set my alarm. I'm getting better at that. I used to lie in my bed for like 2 hours and saying, what can I do for my phone in my bed? But I think once you get up, you kind of put yourself in a better position to do what you have to do. I know some people that go for a walk in the morning, or some that meditate. A lot of CEOs do that. There's some that try to get their workout in first thing. That's not me at all. What I do instead is when I do roll out of bed around 7:45, 8. Don't judge me, y'all. I rearrange the things I have to do today. And some people say do all the easy stuff first. Some people say do all the hard stuff first. Some people say give yourself a break. But I like to think of it as a couple of a mountain, or a couple mountains. So what I do is all the hard stuff I don't want to do, I have to work the courage up to do, I'll put after 1 o'clock, from 1 to 4. That's like paperwork. That's calling people I don't necessarily care for. And by that I mean like bill collectors. I don't mean like my parents. I love my parents. They're dope people. All the hard projects, if I have to write, I usually write between the hours of 1 and 6 before I close up shop or do my second break. In the morning, I do all my lighter stuff. And light doesn't necessarily mean easy or hard. It just means things like I know I can get done within half an hour or less, or 20 minutes or less. That's usually my social media posts. That's usually my emails out to guests for shows. That's usually answering all emails that I have from accounts I don't visit. That is coming up or brainstorming ideas. That is writing a comedy joke in my notebook every day. I know those things don't take that much time. So what I'll do is I'll stack them together and I call something called the power hour. That's when I set my timer for 60 minutes. And for that 60 minutes, I am not allowed to leave my chair. I am not allowed to open up another page and be distracted. I challenge myself an hour at a time. You can't do that all day because no one is built to be that attentive all the time. But with 60 minutes, it's enough where you can focus, and then towards the end of that 60-minute period, it can be a challenge to yourself to push that 60 minutes. Almost like a mental exercise of saying, all right, I'm going to make these calls. I'm going to do Wassup Flobo in the mornings because it takes like 15 minutes or less, as you can tell. I'm going to handle these emails. I'm going to write that joke for my book. And then break number one, because one of the benefits of working for yourself is I take a 2-hour lunch break. And that really means the first 45 to an hour, I run between 2 and 4 miles. And when I get back, I shower. And then I usually eat my first meal of the day at around 11:30 to 12:30. Some days it's different because I have shows that are midday. But at 11 o'clock, I run, shower, eat, scroll YouTube for my pleasure. And then 1 o'clock is the second period, the harder stuff I power through. And at 6, I usually either eat again or go for an afternoon walk to get more steps in for my Fitbit. Maybe call a parent or so if it's an extended conversation. And then at night, when I come back in around 7:30 or 8, I work on the next day. I plan the next day. I make the little to-do list for the next day. Or if I want to do more writing or if I want to play video games, because I'm also an esport athlete, so I want to make sure that I have my skills sharp there too. So stacking things helps. You shouldn't really have a to-do list. People say that it's more beneficial to schedule in a calendar, so you give it a finite time to work on something, and if you can't, to push it and reschedule. I'm working on that. I still am a fan of to-do lists. I think that's more effective for me personally, but if you're like, no, I'm putting things in my calendar, can't fault you for that. You know what I mean? Like, I have a Ford. I drive my Ford, but if you're like, oh no, I like BMWs, can't fault you for that. Can't knock you for that. It's been effective for me. And then, of course, if it's a show day or taping day, things kind of sprinkle in around that. But that's kind of how I'm able to get some of the small stuff out away, because you can be killed by 1,000 or 10,000 paper cuts or whatever the phrase is if you put things off for too long. And as for things I'm putting off for too long, I'm looking at my list here. I'm currently writing a sci-fi piece with JLJ Media. I've written 5 episodes. I'm on episode 6, and I'm like, oh, there's so many storylines I gotta put together. I don't want to deal with it. And it's been on my to-do list for like 2 days. So that's what happens. By the way, look out for that. Can't give the name quite yet because it may change. But that's what I'm working on. That's the big project for this afternoon. But until that, it's time to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching 150 episodes of this show. I mean, I really mean it. It's, I would say, culturally, New Amsterdam Radio, the podcast, is my most important show. I think as far as pure fun, Wassup Flobo After Hours is like my biggest show. But Wassup Flobo, or Wassup Flobo Classic, has been really the gatekeeper. It's been the start to all this, and I wouldn't have even considered anything else if it wasn't for this show. So I thank you so much. And if you want to support the homie, I mentioned the Patreon before, but you can also buy a t-shirt at flobito.threadless.com. I have shirts from my DJ side of things. I have shirts from the comedy side of things. I even have a New Amsterdam Radio shirt you can check out. I have a logo shield for my video game side, Novanta. So check that out if you have some coin, if you want to share and support the homie. But until next time, we'll be back next Wednesday, episode 151. I'm not sure what season this is. Maybe it's season 2 or 3 or 4, but it's been a trip, and we'll keep on going, y'all.